This is a video on dividing like bases. Again, we've got a general rule where if you had a to the m power and you were dividing by a to the n power, you can keep the base and then subtract the exponents. So for example, if we had 3 to the 4th power divided by 3 to the 2nd power, we can have 3 to the exponent from the numerator minus exponent from the denominator. And we would have 3 to the 4 minus 2, which gives us 3 to the 2. Now another way to look at that is 3 to the 4th is the same as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 squared is 3 times 3. And what you're really essentially doing is you're canceling these two factors. So we would get 3 squared in that case as well, and then we'd write that as 9. If you have x to the 8th over x to the 3rd, you're going to write it as x to the 8 minus 3. Subtract and get x to the 5th. Y to the 3rd over y to the 6th. Numerator exponent goes first. Denominator exponent goes second. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. And if you've already dealt with negative exponents, then you know that's 1 divided by y to the 3rd. Another way to look at this, though, I'm going to do the other one as well. Y to the 3rd over y to the 6th could also be written like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there are 1, 2, 3 y's on top, canceling 3 y's on the bottom. Essentially, each of those is equal to 1, leaving a 1 up top and 3 y's on the bottom. That's another way to look at that final answer. And again, if I looked at this, x to the 8th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 3 x's. So this x and that x will cancel, this one and that one, this one and that one, leaving me these 5 x's, all in the numerator. So if you were looking at the x to the 5th, it really is x to the 5th over 1. So let's check out our other two examples. I don't have another number, so that 2 is just going to kind of hang out and wait to see what's going on. I have x to the 3rd over x to the 1, which is going to be x to the 3 minus 1. And I'm going to have y to the 1 minus 1. And when I use the rules like that, everything goes in the numerator. So it's really going to be 2x squared y to the 0. And y to the 0 is equal to 1, so I get 2x squared. If you wanted to look at this in terms of the canceling technique, you would have the y's just canceling. You would have one of the x's canceling. And you would get 2x squared. Here we have to take a look at this fraction. So if we look at the fraction, 5 goes into both 15 and 50. So I'm going to reduce by 5. And if you're using the cancellation technique, we have x's canceling here. I can group all 3 of these y's to cancel all 3 of these y's. And cancel this x with that, this z with that z. And I would end up getting 3x y squared. No z's, no x's there. And on the bottom, I would get 10z squared. That would be done. If I wanted to use the rules, I would have 15 over 50, which reduces to 3 over 10. I would have x to the 2 minus 1. I would have y to the 5 minus 3. And I would have y to the 1 minus 3. 3 over 10 stays. X to the 1. Y to the 2. And then z to the negative 2. 3/10 times anything that is an x, is a positive exponent goes in the numerator. Anything that's a negative goes into the denominator as a positive. And I end up getting the same exact thing.